Okay, so I always report on this stuff, and I found some new stuff, how it's being censored and ways it's being censored. So here I'm searching for smart glasses phone eyeball. I'm looking for smart glasses to go with the phone. I don't know why I added eyeball, but oh well, who cares? Okay, so when I search for this, first thing it gives me is something from 2 years ago about something that doesn't actually exist. And then right after that, it gives me this Xiaomi smart glasses showcase where they're showing you they're coming out with something that was 4 months ago. Then it has a lot of other stuff. You see that? It's got a live, we're not
Facebook, sunglasses,
Facebook, Ray-Ban story, blah, 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 blah. And if you've actually been following this smart glasses story for a while, you know, Google was the first company to come out with them, and then they pulled them. They got scared of what they could do. And I just assumed right away they changed their motto from don't be evil to little, sex with little children doesn't make you a criminal. Whatever it is, they change it to, right? They should have just changed it to that. It's pretty much what we should expect. Okay, so I'm noticed like the 2 years old thing, the dude doesn't understand that there's probably other companies. I mean, it's great that he's doing that. Right? He's doing the review. Whatever. I'm not going to be negative. 2 years ago, they didn't have it because 8 years ago, Google pulled it off the market or something like that. 8 years ago, one of the two. I think we're 8 years now. And then so Xiaomi is the next, and I'm like, that's 2 months out, 4 months out. So I'm going to search for today and see something that came out this month that is actually released so I can buy the product. So I'm going to sort by relevance. I'm going to change relevance to upload date. So I'm going to change the upload date. No more results. We have 4 results here. It's only advertising things that are a year old. And in fact, I just noticed it's advertising like this one guy. This must be the same guy because it looks exactly like that guy. So when I do this, it's advertising this one guy. And guess what this dude looks like? He doesn't look like the people on Google or anything, does he? Look, there's 6 things here. Everything is over a year old. Now when I search a blank, and look at that, that looks exactly like every other person in the media. They're even laughing about it during the video. See what I'm saying? How can I do that? Like, I'm literally not even making a video about this, but what I'm telling you is happening, ain't it? So there you go. And this is technically this video is about that. We're going to have to add that point to the video right now because I'm going to explain to you why this is happening. See, Google said they're going to make these glasses 8 years ago. And if you have a computer connected to your head and you had Google 8 years ago, you would instantly start seeing different groups of people among us. Someone would probably develop an app where you could identify tigers and monkeys and squirrels and insects, and someone might accidentally or purposely put out software where you can identify humans that tells too much. And so I assume right away Google pulled smart glasses because Google itself is worried what happens when you have a computer connected to your brain. I think that's why they're scared of AI as well. Because not that they think AI is going to take over and kill the humans. It's going to take over, and robots will take over and kill the bad humans. And I think they're worried about whether they think they're good or bad or not. And that's a good idea. Maybe we all should be in that aspect, but I think it'd be awesome. I don't think we should limit any of this stuff. But so we have they're pulling it back to now that dude's somewhat different looking, but his name's Schofield. I don't know where that comes from. But all these last 4 here, and the first person it gave to me, right here on the original screen, they look like the Rothschild. So, and these are useless. And the one thing these things have in common is these are English, light skin, pink, gray skin people, whatever you want to call them. They speak English, so does the whole world, right? But they all have light skin, gray skin, or pink skin. And the other group is Xiaomi. Who knows how many of them that they're cutting out are actually from Asia. So what we know for sure right here is they're cutting out Asian news, and Asian people who have stuff to offer the world. And you're like, why did you come up with that? Well, it's not hard. 40 years of listening to people tell me how dirty Asians are and how they like to eat cats and now they like to eat bats. And, pretty much they need democracy or else we need to kill them, which democracy is just saying we're going to kill them and take over. So we're going to either kill them or kill them. And we got to figure out how we're going to do it since we have to use code words like they eat bats and they eat rats. And so one way they do it is by pushing that propaganda and saying, oh my God, their people are so dirty and poor, they eat rats. Only poor, dirty people eat rats and cats and bats. And who knows, maybe they eat jacks. We play with jacks, so they're eating games our children are playing with. They eat the bouncy balls and the jacks. They probably eat jacks. They eat bats, rats, cats, and jacks. We must kill them all to get our world back, right? So anyways, they're out of this. And I assume that's why. I mean, this is the same media that attacks Asians 24/7. They don't know how to say anything positive about Asians. So they never have. And it's always been disgusting. Because I like Asian culture. I like a lot of their stuff. And I think probably a lot of people do. And they don't understand Ninja Turtles probably came from Asia. At least the idea. So you have that crap. That censorship. And that's not the first time I noticed that. When you go up here and you do the search, then you go to the filters will alter all the searches to some extent. Look, we only got like 8 right there. And I told you, Google's teaming up with India. And you can tell that because looking at Google, they have the half Indian, half Jewish person now running alongside Sergey Brin and Wachowski. So, I mean, look, how many of these things do I have to say? And then a link just magically pops up showing you I know what I'm talking about. And look, there's another Indian person. See what I'm saying? It's like limiting to that. Oh, I'm making it up, bro. It's happening because I'm making it up. Right. Okay. So anyway, so it's only shown like, that's like 10 or 12 results. That's more than the other one, which was showing 6. But you see, when I go back to the basic one, it brings up all these. And it's like, it brings up some more, but it brings up more than 12 or 6 results of smart glasses. And I'm looking for smart glasses, right? And it does this with many things. You might have noticed the actual Google algorithm at google.com, the search engine, has become very censored in the past 6 years. Facebook, YouTube have become very censored. But you could notice the algorithm changing. And as I've said before and shown before, it's not just the algorithm changing. The algorithm changes for different people too. So they might be cutting me out of certain knowledge that they're allowing other people to have in their searches. And, when I used to be able to look for stuff and find it. But everyone says now you can't find specifics. When you search minus something, it's not supposed to show up in the string at all. And then people are like, yeah, well, it shows up now. When you search for 8 things and 8 words, and you'll be lucky if 2 of them show up in every search. And so it's like heavily censored at this point. And I assume what I'm seeing right here is that they are censoring the Asians. And Google is a competing corporation with Xiaomi. Xiaomi makes smartphones. Google makes smartphones. Xiaomi is like the Asian smartphone manufacturer. Google is like the globalist smartphone manufacturer. So you have like the one group who controls the world competing with one nation that used to be a great empire. And so they're much smaller. And in fact, like I think their nation was taken over by the globalist Mao Zedong, who used Karl Marx, the globalist Karl Marx ideas to take over that nation, and he didn't exactly look Asian either, so always looked weird to me. But yeah, so they're in direct competition with one another. This isn't just me saying stupid stuff. Anyone who has a family who's done business or done business themselves, like there's competition. If you just sold weed, there's competition out there, and they might shoot you. They're probably going to pay someone to shoot you. You're just selling weed. Someone's probably going to pay someone to come beat you up and take your money. That way they get your money and you are no longer a competitor. So just imagine what it's like when you're controlling the entire planet versus trying to control the entire planet. Yay. My channel is a lot about adventures and trying to control the planet versus people who already control the planet, isn't it? If you want to boil it down to the most simple thing ever. How one could say that's what this video is about. Maybe I would attack China if China were in control of the planet rather than attack the people that China is working against China right now. I probably would, right? If they had some aggressive lead over all the other humans, I would attack China instead of the globalists. So I already know that. I'm on China's side right now because China's an underdog, and once you bring everyone to the same level, then it's going to be hard for people to hate on one another anymore. So I'm all for the person who's trying to fight to get somewhere. Because, especially when they're being stomped. And the enemy of my enemy is my enemy. And so if they're blocking me and all this stuff, if they're playing games with my accounts, then China is my friend if they're attacking China too. I mean, imagine if Chinese people understood what I say in some of these videos. Imagine if the China government understood it. The China government would never hack me or come after me or anything. They'd be like, oh, this pink skin freaking over here. He actually says stop trying to kill the Asians and stuff. He's a very weird person. Very weird person. Right? Not why I do it, but I suppose things like that are a bonus. And so, see it all. Look how many things I just tied in together with everything I just said. But without proof, it's just a crazy conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy theory that I turn on American media and they tell me China is at my door trying to kill me. China is outside trying to rape my children. China killed Jeffrey Epstein because Jeffrey Epstein was competition to China. And only China can control the child rape, syndication. So it's China's fault. China made. Oops. Problem is, China made these devices, and these devices aren't even Chinese. And I don't think the other device is technically Chinese, even though is it Xiaomi? It's possible that's a Xiaomi device. Because it's counterfeit. So there's a really good chance that India actually made that device because India has legalized their citizens to disobey copyright laws, which I think is cute, but they're using it against people. So they're using it against people, not corporations. And it's Hawaii, not Xiaomi, but it's supposed to be really good, but it's not. It's probably made in some government factory in India or something, because it doesn't run as fast as Hawaii is supposed to run, especially this high-end model here of Hawaii. That's supposed to be one really good model and stuff. Anyways, yep. So everything I said just linked together with everything else I said. What are the chances of all that? There must be either I'm creating the world or I understand what's going on. And so Started out as a crazy, stupid conspiracy theory with no links, and now we have all these links. We just don't have it in writing. And we won't get that in writing while the U.S. government goes after people like Zuckerberg and Sergey and Brin and Wachowski, because those people are corporation owners. And I'm sure they've learned after thousands of years in running the governments and the lawyer system, judicial system, that the person in charge should never know anything. Even Alex Jones tells you this. The right hand should never know what the left hand is doing. It's called compartmentalization. So the owner of the corporation, even if they say something early on about how things should run, they should never be notified of anything that the people in the corporation are doing. Mark Zuckerberg should never be told what the assassins he's hired to kill off governments, leaders, or other lawyers worldwide does, right? If he ever knows anyone in his corporation is killing people, then he is a weak point. And he can, and they're going to go after him. So as long as he doesn't know anything, he's not lying, and it's not hard to lie. He doesn't have to try to keep his heart rate down and his nervousness down, because he doesn't actually know. So as long as the government just pulls Mark Zuckerberg into a courtroom, into the House of Representatives for a trial or whatever, Supreme Court pulls him in for a trial, whatever, he shouldn't know. He's smart enough. His people are smart enough to not know. He's got a team of like 12 lawyers. He probably has like one lawyer who is like a bouncer, who will like just smack people in their faces if they say something stupid in front of Mark Zuckerberg that he doesn't need to know. Like, because I would, right? Hell, that's one of the first things I'd do is buy me a bodyguard. That's one of the first things people around me have done. They've hired me to be a bodyguard. And it's like, wow, you don't even have a lawyer yet, and you're hiring a bodyguard. You're hiring someone to silence people around you. You're hiring someone to protect you long before they hire a team of 12 lawyers or one lawyer or half a lawyer. I've been hired to be, although I should say, the last person to hire me to be their bodyguard, they did have at least one lawyer at a federal district who worked in a federal district, on their team already. And they already had security on their level. So they just hired me for right there on the spot protection. And other than that, they probably had assassins and stuff on call, because they definitely had lawyers on call. That was like their best friend, actually. So people do that stuff. All this stuff actually goes on in the world, and the stuff I'm talking about here, it all ties in together. And then it kind of makes sense that it ties in together, because this is like the reason why I care what they're doing, is because they're after me. So it's kind of like similar things. It's like their whole, everything they're about, it's like I'm against this, trying to kill off every other group for no good reason, and it's silencing people. Technology is really bad. They should really, if they put technology to the front line, technology would take over. I think, like I said, they're worried about that more than anything.